The next step of the Seder is the Motzi Matza. And that, of course, refers to the two brachos of Motzi Lechem and Aretz, as well as Alachilas Matza. And I want to actually share two very brief ideas on eating matzah. Number one is that we know that the Zohar calls the matzah Maichal De'Hamenusa. It's the bread of Emunah, the food of Emunah in Hashem. And in the Haggadah, he points out that we know that matzah is about taking us out of Mitzrayim. That matzah was about that we left the chipazon before the bread could rise. It is to recall how quickly the Yeshua of Hashem, the salvation of God, came into being. But it is not enough that we simply tell the story. It's not enough that we talk about it in Magid, which we spend a lot of time. That's an essential part of Yigada to the Bincha. That's a focal point of the story. However, we then take it to the next level because we don't rely solely on the story or on the memory, but we then have to put it into action. The Sefer Chinuch teaches the principle that our hearts go after our actions, that when we put something into action, it integrates it inculcates us within us. And so that's what we're doing by the Achilas Matzah. Not only are we telling the story or recalling what happened, but we're reliving that and we're putting that into a maisa by eating that bread, that very bread which represented the leaving the Yeshua b'chipazon. We're eating that to remind us that if we put this into action, then we will further strengthen that emunah within us. The second idea I want to share is a question of why is the achilas matzah prior to the maror? We know that first we start beginus. We start with telling about the sorrows, the difficulties, and then Messiahim b'shvach. And in the end, we talk about the chayrus. But it seems to be backwards because maror represents the bitter, represents the shibud, and the matzah represents like we just said, the Yeshua b'chipazon, the leaving of Mitzrayim. And so it seems to be out of order. Why do we first eat matzah and then maror? It should be the opposite. There are many answers to this question, but one which this Haggadah tells us is that what was the true Yeshua? What was the true Geula? Had maror been before matzah, we would have thought that, the true Yeshua, the true salvation was the fact that God took us out of this terribly bitter situation. However, what we were first saying is first it's matzah. What's matzah? Matzah is that God took us, b'chipazon, he redeemed us, to be his people. Afterwards, we have maror. Afterwards, we say, and also, by the way, it was so terrible. But when we put the emphasis on matzah first, regardless of the maror, what we're saying is that geula, that taking us out to be his people, even if we were treated in a tremendous way, even if we were in a lofty scenario in Mitzrayim, if we were taken out even of that to be God's people, that would have been enough. That would have been something worth celebrating. So we represent that by matzah. And afterwards, we remind us, and also, this is also a beautiful and amazing part of the story. But it's not the focal point that we were redeemed from the bitterness of our lives in Mitzrayim. The focal point is that we were taken out, not from where we were taken out from, where we were being taken out to be the chosen people of God and ultimately to go receive the Torah. Have a great day.